Yu Menglong's family explodes in rage. They reject the civil case lie. On November 23rd, commentator Li Muyang revealed that he received an open letter from Yu Menglong's friends and family group, confirming its authenticity. After reading the raw grief and anger woven through every word, emotions that, he said, only true family could express. The author referred to Yu as elder brother, explaining that they both grew up in Midong District Industrial Park, Urumqi, Xinjiang, struggling to survive and build their futures. Their homes stood only a street apart, and the writer's aunt had once been Yu Menglong's teacher, proving his deep personal connection to Yu's life and character. The letter made a striking comparison. Even American police officers, often criticized for excessive force, must wear body cameras during enforcement. Without footage, their actions are considered invalid, and officers can be dismissed or fined. Yet, in Yu's case, there was no trace of such accountability. Yu's relatives demanded answers. What evidence supports the decision to classify this as a civil case? Who were the officers involved, and what were their badge numbers? Was there any third-party oversight or witness during the enforcement and judgment process, and if so, where are they now? The author, with a medical background, stressed that under standard legal and medical procedure, only two institutions, a hospital or a court, can officially report a natural death, yet Yu's private studio, a commercial entity, had no legal right to do so. He wrote, "I've never seen a private company announce a person's death. Isn't this proof that the Public Security Bureau is guilty and afraid to intervene? They let the studio speak for them, bypassing the entire judicial process. By doing so, the authorities evaded all responsibility, simply labeling the case civil and closing it." The letter condemned this as a violation of procedural justice, reminding that it's the law enforcement agencies, not citizens, who must provide legal justification for their actions. Only then can the rule of law truly exist. The family also pointed out that Yu's immediate relatives have remained silent, not because they accept the verdict, but because they are still resisting. Had they surrendered, they would have already appeared in public to endorse the official version. Their stance is firm. They reject the claim that Yu Menglong's death is merely a civil matter. In one powerful passage, the letter declared, "This is a human life. A murder must be repaid with a life. That is the law of heaven and earth. Among all hatreds, killing stands above all. You bootlicking marketing accounts will pay for your actions. We would rather err in judgment than let the murderer go free. Be thankful if you can still sleep at night." These were the main details from Yu Menglong's family and friends' open letter. And as the public digests the open letter, a new undercover video reveals a different horror unfolding in Southeast Asia. From online scams to human harvesting, the new industry emerging in Southeast Asia. A newly leaked undercover video from inside a Cambodian scam compound reveals harrowing scenes, the sound of people crying out as they're beaten.
柬埔寨这些地方有大量的高薪工作，也不要去钻这个空子，留在中国是最安全的。接下来我们跟着它的画面来看看这个诈骗园区到底有多大。整个这个区域全部是诈骗园区，在这里面的人也80%-90%都是从事诈骗工。
In these facilities, anyone who refuses to participate in fraud is immediately subjected to violence. Once someone is taken inside, escape is almost impossible. Every dormitory is enclosed with steel wire mesh. The filmer points out that another scam complex is already being built nearby, a clear sign that these operations will continue expanding. Viewers may wonder, why are these scam parks still being openly constructed despite international crackdowns? The explanation is disturbingly simple. Whenever Interpol arrives for inspections, someone inside tips them off, and the operators move their victims elsewhere before authorities arrive. To anyone currently searching for work, be extremely cautious. Please, under no circumstances, go to these places. And if you come across this footage, share it. The more people who are aware of these traps, the fewer will fall victim. Compounds like this exist across Southeast Asia by the hundreds. all operating under the same model. As mentioned in earlier reports, the Chinese Communist Party's support stands behind the operation and survival of these networks. Meanwhile, the black-masked blogger we mentioned earlier recently released another video stating that keyboard fraud is only a small part of what really happens inside these compounds, and that the horrific activities revealed so far are only the tip of the iceberg. The video was quickly removed from his account, but observers managed to save copies before it disappeared. In that recording, he explains that Southeast Asia currently has 300 to 400 scam compounds holding over 1 million people. The largest complexes each contain between 10,000 and 20,000 detainees, while smaller sites hold several thousand. Only 10 to 20% of those inside are managers. The rest are trafficked victims, referred to as piglets. Even managers are routinely tortured if they fail to meet quotas. Abuse is widespread and nearly impossible to avoid. He also mentions a 14-year-old girl who went missing 2 months ago and says cases like hers are often trafficked directly into these sites. Supervisors are in danger as well. Internal power struggles and competition for promotion frequently escalate into violence, even killings. He warns that young people, especially anyone under 35, should never go to Southeast Asia. Men in this age group are considered premium assets, bought, sold, and traded, with higher prices attached to younger victims. Women under 50 face severe risk too, because they are still able to bear children and are therefore targeted. He stresses that these compounds engage in far more than online scams. Their fastest growing sector is the so-called big health industry, where trafficked individuals are used in experiments tied to emerging technologies. Traditional phone and messaging scams are no longer the core business. Extracting human beings as resources has become the priority. For this reason, he warns women under 50 not to travel to Southeast Asia at all. Only those over 50 or 55 are considered relatively safer. He urges both men and women to remain vigilant and protect themselves from these criminal networks. Thank you to the brave blogger who brought this information to the public. Dear viewers, we are living in a chaotic world where horrifying crimes are spreading everywhere, and behind so many of them stands the Chinese Communist Party. It is no exaggeration to say that the CCP has become the true source of much of the misfortune in our world today. It harms not only the people of China, but also spreads its poison across borders, harming countless others around the globe. We must stay clear-headed, recognize the evil nature of the Chinese communist regime, and work together to expose these crimes and speak up for the countless innocent victims. Only when the CCP no longer exists can this world finally know true peace. From fiction to reality, are China's costume dramas revealing its real crimes? Commentator Dayu recently shared a letter from a viewer named Han, whose observations shed new light on the chilling undercurrents running through China's entertainment industry. For years, Han has closely followed CCP-controlled costume dramas. One actor he highlighted is Deng Xiaoping, the same actor we mentioned earlier, whose leading role in the 40-episode series Shanhai Zhen was suddenly reduced to just over 2 hours. This stood out because Deng had appeared in several major productions this year, including Love You 7 Times, Love Game and Eastern Fantasy, and Chenglei Melody, all of which treated him normally. So why was Shanhai Zhen, released at the end of October, gutted so aggressively? Based on what he knows about Deng Xiaoping's personality, and the fact that Deng previously co-starred with Yu Menglong in Love Game and Eastern Fantasy, Han believes Deng may have spoken up for Yu inside the industry, and that, he argues, was why the production slashed his scenes. A warning from the circle itself. Han acknowledges this is only his personal judgment, formed from years of watching dramas and following celebrities. There's another detail. The female lead Song Chan, who starred with Deng in Shanhai Zhen, is reportedly an artist under Tianyu. And Deng is not alone. Many young actors this year are appearing in a surge of historical dramas filled with elements that old-style productions never had. These new dramas frequently contain occult, Jianghu-style themes. a shift Han finds deeply unsettling. According to him, the storylines of Moonlight Mystique, Love of the Divine Tree, and When Destiny Brings the Demon all include scenes that eerily mirror real-world cases. In Moonlight Mystique, the male lead looks glamorous, but has actually been imprisoned for decades. Love of the Divine Tree, the hero is born under conditions that demons interpret as pure yin, marking him as a vessel for an evil spirit. And in When Destiny Brings the Demon, members of the Sima clan are consumed. One plotline even features a cave where descendants are forcibly bred, taken away at birth, and taken of bodily essence to feed so-called spirit beings. These shocking storylines now seem disturbingly familiar. Aren't we now seeing similar things inside CCP-run hospitals, in those abandoned air raid tunnels in the Northeast, and across the torture compounds in Southeast Asia that we've recently reported on? It's horrifying in hindsight. Productions from this circle in recent years feel almost possessed. Even more disturbing, When Destiny Brings the Demon aired on August 16th, right before Yu Menglong died. It seemed to foreshadow the danger he faced, and its title carries clear sacrificial undertones. Whether intentional or coded, the symbolism is alarming. According to Dayu, today's bizarre plotlines are not coincidences. They are either reflections of real occult practices or brazen displays of lifestyles ordinary people cannot comprehend. The idea that directors are exposing reality is unlikely. These concepts are too obscure for most people to imagine, yet traces have long existed in real life. Money laundering, hidden patrons, and propaganda operations have fused China's entertainment world with CCP elites, forming a power-desire ecosystem. Their influence spreads naturally into business and finance, all deeply penetrated by the same elite interests. These elites have long turned to sorcerers. Even Mao Zedong sought such guidance. He personally said his family tomb at Huxiping near Dishuidong was chosen through 11 days of feng shui divination. Mao also assigned the number 8341 to his personal guard unit after a Taoist told him it was important, ironically matching the later interpretation of 83 years of life, 41 years in power. If not for the Yu Menglong case, few today would believe such practices still exist. Yet even in Deng Xiaoping's era, rumors surfaced. According to Dayu, one rumor claims that the famous Taiwanese singer Teresa Teng, known in mainland China as Xiao Deng, died young because Deng Xiaoping had borrowed her life. She died in 1995 at a hotel in Chiang Mai at the age of 42. Officially, the cause was an asthma-induced heart attack, but several unresolved details remain. Her boyfriend's indifference, his refusal to sign medical documents, and unexplained palm marks found on her body. Zhong Nanshan, China's leading respiratory expert, later offered a medical explanation involving overuse of a strong inhaler, but whether people believe it is another matter. When Dayu looked into their birth charts, he found an unexpected level of compatibility. Earth feeding metal, water filling in what was lacking, and their fate lines reinforcing one another. It even sheds light on why Xiao Deng's artistic rise coincided with Deng Xiaoping's political peak. The old saying, "Big Deng by day, little Deng by night," suddenly feels less like a joke and more like destiny. Commentator Dayu stresses that these readings may not be fully accurate. They come from online sources, but he shares them to make a point. Practices like borrowing fate or borrowing life among CCP leaders may have existed far longer than anyone realized. Later, under Jiang Zemin, superstition was reportedly even stronger, and under Xi Jinping the tradition continues. The origin of the character Xian on Yu Menglong's face, Retribution, is coming. Before we end today's episode, I want to share a notable new update from commentator Dayu. He revealed that a TikTok spiritual medium blogger known as Eastern Divine Officer has repeatedly shared mediumship messages about Yu Menglong. Based on what this blogger has posted, Dayu is certain he isn't in China. He must be living overseas. From his accounts, two major points stand out. First, Eastern Divine Officer explained why the character Xin, from Xin-Chi's name, appeared reversed on Yu Menglong's face. Xin-Chi grew up in a powerful family, accustomed to doing whatever he wanted. Because he wasn't considered attractive, He lacked attention from women, grew resentful, and maintained a dual persona, while privately preferring men. Yu Menglong, on the other hand, treated everyone with angelic warmth and fairness. Xinqi misread this kindness as affection, fell in love with him, and even underwent cosmetic surgery. One day, Wang Yuchen, Tianyu's communications director, assigned to monitor Menglong and believed to have feelings for him, was placed at his side. Knowing he was in danger, Menglong tried to confide in her and reveal a USB drive containing evidence of Tianyu's crimes. But she immediately reported everything to the company. Tianyu then violently tortured Yu Menglong and locked him in an iron cage in the basement. When Xinqi heard what had happened, he exploded, not out of concern but out of sick possessiveness. Convinced his lover had been taken by another woman, he ordered people to imprint the first character of his name, Xin, onto Menglong's face using ritual talismans, declaring to the circle, "Yu Menglong belongs to me. No one else may touch him." Second, Eastern Divine Officer explained why Yu Menglong performed mediumship outside China. Menglong wanted to protect his mainland fans and those who cared about him, and he feared young entertainers in China might face the same suffering he did. Going overseas allowed him to speak more freely. He added that after Xinqi marked Menglong's face, Tianyu escalated. They sent another woman to obtain more details from him, and she managed to extract explosive information, though he did not reveal what it was. Tianyu then planned to make Yu Menglong disappear. The executor was a man surnamed Fan, likely Fan Shiki, who allegedly had at least 20 wrongful cases and a reputation for stealing credit, even among insiders. Also involved were Cheng Qing-song and Menglong's agent Du Qiang, forming a trio that, according to him, would head to Japan in December to handle something. Eastern Divine Officer added that several highly capable individuals, and even deities, including those in Taiwan, resent these three intensely, resulting in recurring unexplained health issues that doctors cannot diagnose. He emphasized that retribution eventually arrives. In fact, not long after Yu Menglong's death, netizens even spotted Cheng Qing-song undergoing a medical checkup at a hospital. Whether this is an early sign of karmic consequence for those involved remains. Let's wait and see. I must stress that everything above comes from a spiritual medium blogger and is for reference only. We encourage viewers to approach it with an open mind. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's episode. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this analysis valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.